Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today we're playing BeamNG with a heavily modified CRD Monster Truck. You can see everything is very, very soft looking. Everything is built for maximum suspension travel. Look at that. Because we are going rock crawling. We are going up to the top of that mountain. And this truck can do it. I've tested, and there is a path we can take that will get us to the top safely. I'm going to try to get to it in one truck. Now with my Elite controller, what I can do is limit the brakes. Actually, what I need to do still is put the brake pressure back to 100%, or like 80% on both, because that's where it was stock. I tried having rear brake pressure all the way up and front all the way down, so that the rears could lock up and the front tires could pivot the whole truck, but that didn't work out. So now we're going as this. Everything is back the way it should be. I'm going to take the same path I did more or less, except I'll make a executive decision to jump off the track down to a lower part. You'll see what I mean. So with the tires being super squishy and the suspension super squishy, but with maximum ride height, we have maximum travel. All we have to do is be careful and not just do too much power and backflip down the mountain, because that is quite easy to do when you're rocking 1800 horsepower here. I've boosted the supercharger for if we need to gun it, but for the most part we'll be using only half throttle. Alright, so we have several ways to go here. I was going to go up that very steep way, but let's see if that's the smartest way to go here. Oh. Right. I hate when you use photo mode. It puts the camera speed to like nothing. So now let's go ahead. Right now we're down there. If we go around the back side, if we go around the back side here, that does put us on what looks like the safest path. So that's what I will do. You could call it cheating for flying around and looking, but realistically for crawling something you're going to have a map of it anyways, so. And plus I haven't gone up this way before, so it'll be new for me. We're going to try to keep the truck reset count to 0. If we need to reset, we reset all the way back down. You can see there we needed some power to unbeach ourselves there. And we're going to back up now just to get ourselves back and lined up correctly and not fall down into the ocean. Last I checked, that's not good for our truck. You can see here it's very wide, plenty wide enough for our big old monster truck here. I actually really do like this suspension style, this droop suspension style for real rock crawling. It lets your tires get where they need to go. It does give you less ground clearance overall control wise, I think, but for this kind of environment, it's perfect. I'm sure as a like monster truck suspension it's awful to drive, but here it is perfect. Now I did do this whole mountain before while changing the setup as I went, just kind of as practice, but now this is the real thing. I've learned a few strategies for crawling with a monster truck. One of them being pretty much leave it in second. Even though we have super tight gear ratios, second gear gives us more more wheel speed control. And two, is if we're in a pickle like this, we can use crab walking with the independent rear steering to get the truck away from a wall like it is now. We're having a little bit of issues just getting the truck to face the right way here. There we go. There's some rock just misbehaving, I guess. We need to get Dwayne in here to set things straight with these rocks, man. But yeah, you can see how squishy our tires are, how well they're deforming to the environment. That's exactly what we need. You can see we're not slipping barely at all with our tires, except for when we beach. Like, look at that. That plus good throttle control is what we need. Look at how high up we are already here. Alright. Bit of a wall ride here, but it's probably necessary to make sure we don't just fall off the cliff here. Plus we have big enough tires to allow us to do so. I love this solid axle suspension action. Alright, that would have been a big drop if we just kept going for it. Should be able to see my controller inputs in the top right. You can see how little I'm doing the throttle. With this much boost, you only need a little bit of throttle to get the tires rolling. Alright, there we go. Had a little bit of a beach moment, but nothing bad happened. And now we see our final path. Which actually won't take nearly as long as the other practice run. Practice run took over an hour. Just with various settings, tweaking, and using the winch, aka node grabber, and just locking the node in place while you can pivot. Because real crawlers would do that, they'd have a pivot, but you can see we're not doing any of that here. We're just using the good old CRD with all stock parts. One thing you may have also noticed is I have limited my brakes to 50% as well, because these tires can lock up very easily. Oh dear. Huh. And you don't want them to do anything dumb. The tires are so lowly pressured that the terrain just clips straight through. Okay, so this is a great example to show. We're too close to the edge. If we do rear steering, it'll rotate us towards the wall, sure, but the back tire might just fall off and it'll slide us out. We could do the same for the front, but that would just bring the whole truck slightly sideways, and not really enough steering to get us where we need to go. So, what we do is crab. That way both axles are pointed towards the way we need to go. And there we go, we have gotten ourselves out of a sticky situation with no resets or needing to use a node grabber. Alright, this is a great example. If I had full brake pressure and locked up the tires immediately, we may have started to rotate backwards. Obviously that's not good. And now we can just continue on our way. This is the steepest part of the whole mountain. Need to be very careful with our throttle inputs here. Slow and steady wins the race. This is not a rock bouncing competition where the aim of the game is speed and power and hope for the best. Alright, I'm going to do that crab walk towards the way we need to go. Didn't quite work out there, but we're not in trouble yet. Lock her down if we feel something going awry. Alright, we have one stubborn rock here. I'm going to do rear steering only to get us rotated around it. There we go. You can see I loaded the truck up with minimal fuel, as minimal fuel as we need to keep the truck nice and light. And here we go. I'll just have kind of a wall to get up here. You can see there's two ways to go about this. I'm going to go to the left way because that looks more challenging. And it seems the proper way to get up to the maximum height of this world. And assuming we don't just explode on impact, we have made it to the top of Mount Minota? What is this track? Fail Race just did a great video similar to this, but with a hopper. Minato, or Minato, however you pronounce it, that's the map. But yeah, this is proof that we can make it to the top of the hill in a CRD Monster Truck. And can we get down? Yes, we just follow the exact same path down. Anyways, that will do it. Thanks, Game Boy Out. I'll see you in the future.